There's a corner of every casino you've walked through, a section so ordinary, so harmless looking, you'd never suspect it hides the dirtiest secret in the entire building. The blinking lights, the soft electronic jingles, the hypnotic rhythm of coins that don't really exist anymore. It's all designed not to entertain you, but to condition you. Casinos know exactly what they're doing. Every light, every sound, every carpet pattern under your feet is there for one purpose: to control human behavior. But the machines are the real predators. And here's the part most players never realize. Not all slot machines are created equal. Some of them aren't even meant to make money the traditional way. They're meant to extract it, slowly, invisibly, and methodically. You've seen these machines before. They're always there, the same models, the same positions, untouched for years, even when newer ones rotate in and out. Ever wondered why? Because those machines aren't just games, they're tools. Tools that casinos keep on the floor for one sinister reason: to steal. Not in the obvious way. No, that would be too crude. What they steal is your time, your focus, and your ability to walk away. Over the years, insiders have quietly whispered about them. Designers, floor managers, even a few ex-casino executives. Machines that don't move even when their numbers say they should. Machines that stay because they do something most others can't. They make players believe they're close to winning while draining them dry. In this investigation, we're going to expose 5 of those machines, not by brand or model name alone, but by design, by intention, because every one of them represents a different strategy casinos use to tilt the odds, manipulate psychology, and disguise loss as excitement. You'll see how sound frequencies keep you chasing a jackpot that statistically can't happen, how near misses are engineered to release dopamine identical to actual wins, and why some popular machines are deliberately placed next to the exits, just so you see them flash as you walk in, subconsciously pulled back inside. This isn't just about gambling. It's about manipulation on an industrial scale. So tonight, we walk the casino floor not as players, but as investigators. We'll decode the architecture of deceit and find out which machines have always been there for a reason. Because when you finally understand why casinos keep these 5 machines on the floor, you'll never look at slot lights the same way again. Fade-out sound of slot reel spinning, then a low hum, like static under tension. The casino floor. To most people, it looks random, a chaotic maze of machines, lights, and noise. But step back, look closer, and you'll see a pattern. Every hallway, every glowing screen, every sound that leaks into your ears is part of a blueprint, a psychological labyrinth designed not to welcome you, but to trap you. When casino architects design a floor, they don't think in terms of decor or aesthetics. They think in terms of revenue per square foot. Every step a player takes is measured, modeled, and monetized. The goal? To keep you inside the building for as long as possible, regardless of whether you're winning or losing. It's not about chance. It's about control. You'll notice it if you start to pay attention. Casinos almost never have clocks, rarely any windows, no natural light. Time doesn't exist here, only motion and the illusion of progress. And right at the center of it all, the heartbeat of this illusion, are the slot machines. But not all machines are equal. Some are rotated out every few months to test new visuals or soundscapes. Others are replaced when they stop performing, but a small handful never move. They stay. Through renovations, remodels, even ownership changes. Those are called anchor machines, and they are the first kind casinos keep for one reason only: to steal your attention. An anchor machine isn't necessarily the most profitable one. It's the one that keeps traffic flowing. It might have a bright, simple design, maybe a low minimum bet. It's positioned where you can't help but notice it, near the entrance, beside the restrooms, or just off the main walkway. You'll think you chose it randomly. You didn't. It was chosen for you. Here's how it works. Imagine walking into a casino after a long day. Your brain is already fatigued. Your senses are alert but unfocused. You see lights. You hear laughter. You feel the hum of machines. Your subconscious looks for safety, for familiarity. And there it is, a friendly-looking slot machine, blinking softly, a small crowd gathered around it. It feels inviting, harmless. You sit down. That's the trap. Because casinos know that once you stop moving, your chances of leaving drop by more than 80%. That first spin isn't about money. It's about anchoring you. The sound of the reels, the flash of colors, the small win that might hit in your first few plays. It's all calculated. It tells your brain, this is where the luck is. From that moment, your dopamine cycle resets around that chair. You feel safer there than anywhere else in the building, and that's exactly what the casino wants. These anchor machines are deliberately coded to provide small, frequent wins. They give you pennies, not payouts, but the effect is the same as a jackpot. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a $5 win and a $5,000 one when it comes to chemical reward. That's why casinos never remove them. Even when newer machines outperform them in revenue per spin, anchor machines stay, because they're not just profit devices, they're behavioral conditioning tools. Over the years, regulars sit in the same seats week after week. Tourists flock to them because they look lucky. But the truth is far colder. They're designed to create traffic flow and keep the house advantage running smoothly. Former floor managers call it the honey effect. Once a few bees land, the rest follow. And soon you've got a full hive buzzing around a single glowing cabinet, each player believing it's their choice to be there. But it never was. That's the hidden trap of casino floors, the illusion of choice built on a foundation of manipulation. A machine that doesn't even need to rob you directly because it steals something far more valuable first, your free will. If you're starting to see the pattern, how the floor itself becomes part of the con, then what comes next will shake that understanding even further. Because anchor machines are just the beginning. The real theft happens when you sit at one of the programmed illusions, machines designed to mimic luck, simulate randomness, and make losing feel like almost winning. In Chapter 2, we expose the second kind of machine casinos keep for one purpose, not to attract you, but to break you. Keep watching. The deeper we go, the darker it gets. This chapter dives into one of the casino's most manipulative psychological tools, the near miss. It explains how machine algorithms are built to imitate luck, how neuroscience plays into addiction, and how casinos quietly use this mechanism to keep players trapped longer than ever before. There's a sound that every gambler knows, that click, click, click of the final reel spinning and stopping just one symbol short. The bar, the cherry, the jackpot symbol, so close you can almost taste it. Your body tenses, your brain sparks, and for a moment, you feel it. That electric maybe next time. That's not chance. That's engineering. Inside the casino world, there's a term whispered among developers, the near-miss algorithm. It's the invisible puppet master behind modern slot psychology, and it's one of the 5 machines casinos will never remove. Because a near miss doesn't make you lose, it makes you keep playing. In the 1980s, behavioral scientists discovered something unsettling. When humans almost succeed, when they fail by a fraction, their brains release the same dopamine that accompanies victory. It's the reason you can miss a dartboard bullseye and still feel excited, the reason athletes push harder after a close game, and it's the reason slot designers realized they could weaponize almost. That's when machines changed forever. Old-school mechanical reels had natural probabilities. You pulled a lever and the physical wheels stopped wherever chance allowed. But digital machines, they obey code, and code can fake randomness. Now, the system can let the jackpot symbol appear on the first 2 reels, and then deliberately stop the 3rd reel 1 symbol away. Not enough to win, just enough to trigger your brain's reward system. It feels like destiny, but it's mathematics with a smile. Former developers have admitted it. Near-miss frequencies are tuned like a radio dial. Too many, and players get frustrated. Too few, and they lose interest. But hit that perfect balance, around 1 almost win for every 7 or 8 spins, and you have the perfect illusion of control. You're not chasing money anymore. You're chasing completion. You start saying things like, "I'm due. It's heating up. I can feel it." But the code doesn't feel anything. It just watches you, recording your inputs, timing your bets, and responding with just enough false hope to keep you spinning. That's why casinos keep near-miss machines on the floor, because they don't drain wallets instantly, they milk them. A steady, controlled siphon of attention disguised as excitement. And here's the sinister part. Casinos track which machines generate the longest average session time per player. Not which ones pay the least, not which ones earn the most, but which ones keep you sitting. Those machines almost always feature near-miss mechanics. They're placed in comfortable, quiet corners, low lighting, soft background music, sometimes even padded seats. You're not in a casino anymore. You're in a behavioral experiment that never ends. One ex-developer from Reno once described it perfectly. The jackpot is the bait, but the near miss is the hook. Every spin reinforces that chemical loop. Dopamine surges, then crashes. Your brain demands another attempt, not to win, but to close the loop it believes is still open. That's why players say things like, "I was so close, I have to go again." They're not wrong. They were close. But close doesn't exist in the code. It's a trick of perception, mathematically impossible, yet emotionally undeniable. Casinos understand this perfectly. They don't want you angry. They want you almost satisfied, almost happy, almost rich. Because as long as you're almost anything, you'll never walk away. And so these near-miss machines remain permanent fixtures on every casino floor. Even when new models arrive with flashier graphics, the near-miss code stays alive, embedded deep in the software, quietly training the next generation of players to chase ghosts. The truth is harsh. Casinos don't need to cheat. They just need to let your brain cheat itself. If you thought the near miss was psychological manipulation at its peak, wait until you see what's next. Because some machines don't rely on almost, they rely on memory, tracking your behavior, adapting to it, and deciding exactly when to let you win. In Chapter 3, we step into the age of smart slots, machines that learn you while you think you're learning them. Stay with me. The floor's about to get a lot smarter and much more dangerous. This chapter exposes how modern slot machines use tracking data, player profiling, and adaptive algorithms to manipulate behavior in real time, rewarding, punishing, and recalibrating odds to keep players locked in longer. In the old days, a slot machine was dumb. Metal gears, mechanical reels. You pulled a lever and fate spun blindly. But those days are gone. Now the machines watch you. They listen. They learn. And the longer you sit there, the better they understand how to keep you from leaving. Most players don't realize that every spin today runs through a hidden feedback loop. A modern slot cabinet isn't just a game, it's a behavioral engine, a computer that profiles you in real time. The moment you insert your player card or tap a loyalty account, the system starts logging everything. How fast you press the button, how much you bet when you're winning versus losing, how long you pause between spins. It's a full psychological fingerprint. Casinos call it dynamic yield optimization. It sounds harmless, almost scientific, but here's what it really means. The machine changes its behavior to keep you playing. Let's say you start hot. 2 quick bonus rounds, a few small wins. You're feeling confident. The system sees that spike in engagement and slowly begins tightening the math. The payouts shrink. The bonuses drift further apart. You chase the feeling that hooked you 15 minutes ago, and the system smiles quietly because it knows exactly where your threshold is. Then, just as frustration peaks, the reels drop a small win. Enough to calm you. Enough to make you whisper, okay, maybe it's turning around. It's not luck, it's timing. These adaptive machines operate like seasoned psychologists. They monitor your micro-reactions, tiny delays, bet changes, nervous touches, and feed them back into algorithms that predict when you're about to quit. And the moment you're close to standing up, they give you that little hit of dopamine to make you stay. One more spin, one more try, one more hour gone. A former analytics engineer once admitted off-record, "We don't need to cheat outcomes, we just manage emotion. The math does the rest." That's the true power of adaptive design. It's not about cheating odds, it's about shaping behavior. Casinos learned that steady engagement is worth more than big payouts. A player who stays 4 hours, losing slowly, earns more revenue than someone who wins big and walks away happy. So the adaptive machine becomes your mirror. If you're reckless, it calms you. If you're cautious, it tempts you. If you're frustrated, it comforts you. Every move calculated to keep you inside the loop. And it doesn't stop at the screen. Hidden cameras above the floor track crowd density and player flow. If too many people leave a section, the floor manager receives an alert. Within minutes, staff adjust lighting, sound levels, even air temperature to recreate comfort. You feel luck returning, but it's not luck, it's environmental engineering. Some modern systems even sync to your loyalty data, how often you visit, what time you play, whether you prefer free drinks or free spins. If you've been away too long, you'll receive an email. "We've missed you. Here's $20 free play." That message isn't random. It's triggered precisely when the algorithm predicts you're ready to relapse. This is the future of gambling. Machines that evolve, adapt, and manipulate with surgical precision. They blur the line between entertainment and control. And casinos defend them fiercely. They claim adaptive systems create a personalized experience. But what they never say is that personalization cuts both ways. When a system knows what makes you stay, it also knows what breaks you. It's a quiet predator. No claws, no threat, just data. Players rarely notice when they've crossed the line, from playing for fun to being played. They still believe they're chasing luck, when luck left the building hours ago. The adaptive machine doesn't need to cheat.
It simply waits for you to reveal what kind of player you are, and then uses that knowledge against you. By the time you realize it's learning you, it already knows you better than you know yourself. We've uncovered the anchors that lure you in, and the near-miss machines that keep you chasing ghosts. Now you've seen how the system learns your every move. But the next machines? They go even further. They use other players to trap you, creating false crowds, staged excitement, and invisible patterns of influence. In Chapter 4, we expose the most social and deceptive tactic yet, the crowd magnet. A machine that doesn't just manipulate you, it manipulates everyone around you. Stay sharp, because on the casino floor, nothing draws you in faster than the illusion that somebody else is winning. This chapter exposes how casinos manufacture the illusion of luck and energy by planting hot machines in strategic public zones, using social proof and crowd psychology to lure players into losing patterns. Casinos understand one thing better than anyone else on earth. People follow energy. If you see excitement, you want to be near it. If you hear someone cheer, your brain sparks curiosity. You wonder, what did they win? Could that be me? And that's why every casino in the world stages its own theater of luck. The lights, the sounds, the smiles, they're not spontaneous. They're designed. Walk into any major casino, and you'll notice something immediately. Certain machines are louder. They flash brighter. They seem to pay out more often. People crowd around them, laughing, clapping, high-fiving strangers. It feels real, but in many cases, it isn't. These are the crowd magnets, machines placed strategically to create the illusion of momentum, of life, of luck spreading through the air. Casinos call it energy zoning. Psychologists call it social proof. You see someone win, and your brain thinks, if they can, so can I. But what you don't realize is that the win you just witnessed was carefully manufactured. Some casinos even use what insiders nickname staging zones. A handful of machines with slightly higher payout frequencies are placed right at the most visible areas, near entrances, at bar corners, beside escalators, or in full view of restaurant lines. They're not generous by mistake. They're generous by design. Those machines are built to display wins, just small ones, just often enough to make nearby players believe luck is in the air. You'll see someone win $200. You'll feel that rush of possibility. But behind the scenes, hundreds of others in quieter corners are losing at a steady, silent pace. The noise of a single win drowns out the silence of 100 losses. That's how casinos stage the illusion of fairness. In some cases, casinos even enlist staff for crowd control theater. Dealers and floor hosts are trained to redirect foot traffic when energy zones start losing momentum. If a section looks too quiet, they'll seed a few regulars back in. Loyal customers who know how to keep the vibe alive. It's not a conspiracy, it's a business model. Casinos thrive on rhythm. Energy goes flat, spending goes down. So they pump it back up. One ex-operations manager once said, "A dead floor is a dead register. You've got to make people believe they're surrounded by winners." And sometimes it goes even deeper. Certain machines are configured for showtime modes, temporary tweaks that slightly boost visible payouts when crowds gather. It's subtle, legal, and almost impossible to prove, but it works. A burst of lights, a simulated jackpot animation, a sound effect echoing across the floor. It's not meant for the winner. It's meant for the watchers. You think you're seeing luck. You're seeing marketing, The psychology behind it is brutally simple. Humans crave belonging. When you see others winning, you feel safer losing. Because if everyone's playing, then it must be fair. That's the invisible comfort casinos sell. But the truth is colder. Most people cheering in the open zones are down by the end of the night. The energy fades, but the illusion remains. You remember the one big win you witnessed, and forget the dozens of quiet defeats that surrounded it. Casinos depend on that selective memory. It's not your fault. It's how our brains work. We filter for hope, not for loss. The crowd magnet machines are permanent fixtures. They sit like neon bait at the edge of every gambler's line of sight. They don't need to be rigged. They just need to perform hope convincingly enough. And every time someone new steps up, the show starts all over again. By now, we've seen how casinos trap your attention, your chemistry, your behavior, and even your herd instincts. But the last machines we're about to uncover, they operate on something far more dangerous. They prey not on excitement, but on desperation. In Chapter 5, we expose the final kind of slot casinos will never remove. Machines designed for the broken-even dreamer. The player who can't afford to lose anymore, yet keeps spinning anyway. It's the darkest trick of all, because it doesn't steal your money outright. It convinces you that losing is the only way to win. Stay with me. This next chapter shows how the casino turns hope itself into a weapon, transforming hope, loss, and desperation into a cycle of endless play. It unveils the psychological triggers embedded in modern slot machines that exploit human emotion at its weakest point. There's a moment every gambler knows. It's quiet, hollow. You've just lost your last $20. Your hand hovers over your wallet, and that little voice whispers, maybe just one more spin. But what if I told you that voice isn't yours anymore? That's when you meet the desperation machine. Not a myth, not a metaphor, a design, engineered to strike exactly when you're weakest. Because to casinos, desperation isn't a flaw, it's a feature. In behavioral pathology, there's something called loss chasing. It's what happens when a player loses and keeps betting to win it back. Casinos learned decades ago that this state, desperation, is the most profitable mindset a player can enter. And so, modern machines are built to create it. Look closely the next time you play. Notice what happens after a big loss. The lights don't dim. The sounds don't fade. Instead, the game becomes more comforting. You'll hear gentle tones, friendly animations, a soft, try again, message that feels like encouragement, not defeat. This is the illusion of hope, manufactured to keep you emotionally connected when logic should make you walk away. Some slot manufacturers even use what insiders nickname post-loss reinforcement, a harmless-sounding term, but it's psychological warfare.
Here's how it works. After a string of losses, your brain is starved for dopamine, so the machine gives you small tokens of reward, bright visuals, near misses, mini bonuses that barely pay anything. It's not enough to win, but it's enough to feel like you might. That's how the machine keeps you trapped, not through luck, through hope. There's another layer to it, one even darker. Casinos track your play through loyalty cards and digital IDs. They know when you're losing. They know how much you've lost, and their data systems can identify when a player is in emotional distress. That's when something subtle happens. Your free drink arrives faster. Your favorite slot, the one you just lost hundreds on, suddenly opens up again. And if you're a high-value player, a host might appear with a smile and say, "Don't worry, your next spin's on us." That isn't kindness, it's strategy. They're giving you just enough air to keep drowning. The desperation machine isn't a single cabinet or model, it's the philosophy behind every game on the floor. And the secret key? Hope. Every sound, every animation, every spin, designed to convince you that the next one could be the one. But statistically, it never is. Casinos call this player retention optimization. It's a phrase you'll find buried in internal presentations and product briefs. A blend of neuroscience, marketing, and manipulation, all tied to one goal: make losing feel like progress. One former slot designer described it perfectly. He said, "We don't sell wins, we sell the dream of almost winning." And when that dream starts to fade, they reignite it. Losses are softened by sound, disappointment disguised as progress. Even the button placement is part of it. The spin button is larger, brighter, easier to press than cash out. It's not just a design choice, it's a psychological trapdoor. Because when you're desperate, your logic shuts down, and your brain seeks relief, not reason. By now, casinos know exactly how far you'll go before giving up. They can predict when your play session will end within minutes, and before that moment comes, the machine will nudge you. A bonus teaser, a glowing jackpot meter, a sound that hints you're close. They don't need you to win, they just need you to believe. That's why, for some players, casinos aren't entertainment anymore. They're escape rooms with no exits. Every sound, every light, every word, engineered to keep you searching for a way out that doesn't exist. And here's the cruelest part. Even when you finally walk away, the hope doesn't leave with you. It lingers, waiting for the next paycheck, the next visit, the next spin. Because the real jackpot for casinos isn't money, it's your return. So next time you feel that whisper, "just one more spin," remember where it came from. It's not your intuition. It's the echo of a system designed to make you believe in something that was never real. The desperation machine doesn't steal your money, it steals your sense of control. And once that's gone, you're exactly where the casino wants you to be. If you've ever felt that invisible pull to keep spinning, you're not alone. But awareness is your first defense. In the next episode, we'll expose how casinos mask addiction as entertainment and the billion-dollar science behind it. Until then, stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, in the casino, the house doesn't chase luck, it chases you.